Hey, guess what time it is, guys? Oh, this Paragon tree. We could probably get rid of it. Let's talk about my thoughts on it. All right, like you guys saw, the bet is finally lifted. I'm in the clear. I can finally decide what I want to do with my Paragon tree. I want to talk about this adventure. So for those of you, I know a lot of you only like to watch these videos for the first like 10, 15 minutes. That's fine. I appreciate you, especially for stopping in and checking out the videos about total breakdown. One, if you guys wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button, I really appreciate it. About 89% of you do not actually subscribe to me. So 11% of you actually subscribe. And about 8,000 of you come and watch me every day, which is awesome. So thank you guys so much. If you wouldn't mind hitting that subscribe button though down below, I would greatly appreciate it because it helps me out tremendously, especially with everything that I'm trying to achieve. Now, for those of you who are trying to watch within the first 3 minutes to know what this video is about, basically, I made a bet with Failed Shot Gaming. If you did not see that video, go watch that video. We debated Treasure Hunter. I talked about all the ins and outs as far as my case in point, as far as why I don't use Treasure Hunter. We talked about why Failed Shot uses Treasure Hunter, and we kind of just went back and forth, and lo and behold, I ended up losing. What did we bet? We bet that I would do a class change, hence why I've been a Crusader in all my videos, hence why I'm also below Paragon tree, because I've not been having a great time as Crusader. But even more importantly, we made a side bet afterwards for double or nothing, and I lost yet again. Oh, for shame. Which then made me have to use Treasure Hunter for 2 weeks. Now, it has technically been 3 weeks, and I did this because I kept forgetting. I kept forgetting to activate this. 9 out of 10 times I would run the gladiator tree because I would be doing like something like PvP related. I'd be doing my dailies. I'd be doing something where I needed my gladiator tree active, and I would forget about it and not do my dailies with my Treasure Hunter. So I went ahead and I pushed it out another week into the atmosphere. So that way I had a better idea, and I tried to give the Treasure Hunter a fair shot. So let's talk about what I learned. So there's a few things that I learned when it came to the Treasure Hunter tree, as far as what I saw differently on my account and what felt a little different. Now, when I say what felt a little different, you guys are all aware that, Treasure Hunter, yes, it gives you more experience. It gives you more gold. You get increased amount of drops from elites or better. And it's pretty exponentially here, right? So there's pros to it and there's cons to it. One, it's 54 points. 54 points you could actually use to get like Gladiator Tree done, Vanquisher Tree. Soon we're gonna be having Soldier and Mastermind. I'm sure a lot of you watching this video have Soldier and Mastermind, so you're kind of like, okay, do I want to use these points on here or whatever? Do I need to free up my Treasure Hunter tree? Total breakdown is I didn't really notice, honestly, any difference using the Treasure Hunter tree. I play about 2 hours a night. Other than when I'm out of town, I was just out of town for the last week, so it's kind of a bummer because it really hurt my my leveling. That's why I'm so far behind, because instead of being able to play for 2 hours like I normally did, I was only able to play for about 30 minutes. Now, some of you will argue that it does help you even in that short time frame. You're not wrong, it does. However, I think the real problem with the Treasure Hunter tree, especially after getting to experience it, I will take it back. Treasure Hunter tree is not garbage, so to speak. Do I like it? Not really. Mainly because the simple fact that this active button will hoodwink you more often than not. Because like I said, I extended this another week because 9 out of 10 times I was running the gladiator tree. So I always had this active. I would be farming for 2 hours, an hour and a half, something like that, trying to catch up and be like, oh crap, I gotta go back and turn the stupid tree on. And I would. Then I'd pop in here and I'd go back in here. I'd farm for another hour. I wouldn't really see big gains. I really, honestly, in my personal opinion, I didn't feel a lot of gains in this. But even when talking with Veiled Shot, he even pointed out, you're not going to feel like there's a lot of gains here. You're not going to see a lot of the gains because you need to do thousands upon thousands of drops to really notice the increased amount of legendary gear that you may get, because you need such a large sample size on your overall drops from elites to really notice the difference as far as legendary items that you get. Now, something that was fixed that I did notice a little bit of an increase on. Obviously, my XP being 50% increase. When it was active, I did notice that. It was apparent to me that I was getting more XP. That was great. I actually had to make sure I turned it off for my videos that I did where I talked about, hey, go farm here, go farm there, because I didn't want it to be affect the amount of XP that you actually get in those videos. I wanted to be very fair and transparent with you because not everybody runs the Treasure Hunter tree. So that would really skew the numbers if I was running it for those videos. Also, the gold find. Gold find, it did help a little bit, mainly because when I switched to Crusader, I needed a lot of gear. Now, I do get a lot of gear as it is, especially because of the gem or the skill or whatever. And I do gamble every single day. And actually, you know what? We'll go ahead and we'll teleport and we'll gamble again. So I did notice it was much easier for me to maintain the amount of gold needed to go ahead and gamble for those legendary pieces of gear that I needed for my build than it was to not back when I was just a demon hunter and I would never run treasure hunter at all. Does this mean that I am now a treasure hunter convert? Absolutely not. Would I ever pick this without losing a bet? Absolutely not. Mainly because, for the simple fact, there's no identifier. Notice that there is no indication at all on my main screen that I'm running the treasure hunter tree right now. I don't even remember if I did. I don't remember if I went ahead and I selected it or not. I don't think I did. Maybe I did. I'm not sure. But what I do know is that I'm running a little low on gold, and now I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go farm the rest of that gold, and I'm gonna leave the treasure hunter active. So that way I get a little bit additional gold. So I will say that it is not the end of the world. It does only take 54 points. It's definitely not worth it, in my opinion, to get the lower section. It's just not. Let's be honest here. Going for on this Paragon tree, if you were to go for this lucky orb section, I don't really think that's worth it. Unless you're someone who does need a lot in potency. In my case, I really don't, because I'm not trying to do a whole lot of CC. But if you're like a Necro or whatever, if you wanted to go for this, it'd be okay if you really wanted it to. But it doesn't, from everything I've read and everyone I've talked to, it doesn't make that big of a difference. So 54 points, not the end of the world, not the greatest. But overall, my general experience with the treasure hunter tree was unchanged. I did not notice a legendary gear increase amount. But I mean, I guess it is what it is. If I was someone who grinded all the time, I think this would have been massive for me. I think this would have made like I would always have treasure hunter available. But because I'm someone who I'm more competitive, I'm more looking at damage, I'm more looking at everything else, I just kept the gladiator active more often. And because there's no identifier saying, hey, which one do you have currently active on your main screen, I forgot. I'll be honest with you guys. How many of you watching this video forget 9 out of 10 times to go switch your Paragon tree? Or is it just me? I do know when you come over here and you get to go over to the armory, you can set which Paragon tree is active. I do know that does help people. Some people like to do that. Some people prefer to do that for when they're gonna go into BGs, when they're gonna open world farm and they wanna swap their build out. That is totally fine and dandy and definitely something worth noting. If you are someone who does do this, definitely keep that in mind. Maybe then that's what maybe that's how I should have managed this entire time. What I will tell you guys is, at least for this weekend, because I got to catch up, I'm level 134, which is just embarrassing as a content creator. I'm not going to lie. Any other content creator out there who's under server Paragon and recording these videos, oof, embarrassing, man, including myself. But I will say at level 146 as the Paragon level, I got about 12 levels to go. I'll probably get it tomorrow. So once again, about 14 levels. I'm gonna leave it active. I'm gonna get that 50% XP boost. I'm gonna go open world farm for the next 3 to 4 hours. We'll see what we get. I actually may make a video of it. I may actually make a video saying, hey, this is how long it took me to get from this point to this point with Treasure Hunter, and see if that made a difference. Maybe that will make the great difference on the Treasure Hunter tree for me and to make it worth my time on my own end. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate you all, especially those who stay tuned to the rest of this video. I just wanted to give you a breakdown of what I experienced on the Paragon tree, what my thoughts were, if I'm gonna keep it, if I'm not gonna keep it, if I noticed a massive increase, because I know a lot of people were interested. A lot of people saw my bet and were like, hey, John, you do not have to take that bet. Yeah, it's cool that you're gonna man up and you're gonna own it, but you shouldn't do this because you spend thousands of dollars in the game. Well, I do, but you know what? At the end of the day, a bet is a bet. I lost, so it's time for me to man up, own it, and move forward. Luckily, my time is done. I got 1 more week as a Crusader, and then poof, I can go back to Demon Hunter if I want. So definitely stay tuned. We may have a lot of Crusader content coming at you, so that way I can get the heck off of this class. All right, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe, and I can't wait to see you guys in the next one. Peace.